Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a man is in the hospital and facing charges after a traffic stop in Calais turned into an officer-involved shooting. We'll have those details ahead. Plus, the primaries are tomorrow. We'll hear more about the candidates and events that were held over the weekend. And the City of Brewer celebrated their River Fest for the 6th year in a row. We'll have more on that as well. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop, and I'm officially back from vacation and very excited to be here this morning. We'll have all of the day's news coming up and, of course, a lot of stories regarding those primaries. For the weather today, it will be in the 70s with mostly sunny skies. Let's start off this morning by getting a first check of our forecast. Devin Biggs joins us now.
Alrighty, Janessa, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go this morning. Not looking too bad. We're pretty clear out there, and we'll have plenty of sunshine thanks to high pressure that continues to hang around, and we will stay quiet today with a light breeze in the area. Let's zoom things out. The entire Northeast continuing to stay quiet. We'll see this break down later on this week. You can see other areas across parts of the Midwest seeing some showers and even some thunderstorms. As for us, again, lots of sunshine today, a few passing clouds. We'll have a few passing clouds later on tonight, but overall, not looking too bad as we do push forward into your Tuesday. Some gusty winds up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour today, but the sustained winds will be at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, the gusty winds will be backing off, and even as we head towards tomorrow, again, the winds not looking too bad. They may gust at times up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour at best. But your hourly forecast pushing forward, lots of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds today. Temperatures reaching to around 80 degrees. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Janessa?
Thank you, Devin. We'll look forward to that. Well, first this morning, a man is in the hospital and facing several criminal charges after a traffic stop on Friday in Calais turned into an officer-involved shooting. According to the Calais Police Department, 2 officers conducted a traffic stop on 35-year-old Abanadi White at the intersection of Main Street and North Street in Calais. White refused to follow commands after being told that he was under arrest. Officers attempted to tase him but were unsuccessful. This is a video of the incident. It was obtained by ABC7 Fox 22 from social media and was confirmed by sources within the Washington County Sheriff's Office that this is in fact footage from the incident. The officers tried to physically take White into custody, but he continued to resist and then grabbed a sword and swung it at the police. Both officers then fired their weapons. White was treated, transported, and life-flighted to Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center and is now stabilized. Both officers have been placed on a standard procedure administrative leave, and the Attorney General's office will investigate the use of deadly force, and the Calais Police Department will conduct the criminal investigation. White faces charges of failure to stop, operating after suspension, failure to submit to arrest, and criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon. Meanwhile, 22-year-old Andrew Wright is facing several charges after police say he led them on a dangerous chase in a stolen truck. According to the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, they received multiple reports last Thursday of a driver performing donuts in a public area in Hudson. Deputies then responded and confirmed with the Bangor Police Department that it was the same vehicle stolen in Bangor earlier that same night. Authorities also say the stolen vehicle had reportedly been involved in multiple crashes, had driven through a public park with people present, and generated multiple complaints while driving through Broadway. Deputies attempted a traffic stop on Thursday night, but they say that Wright fled. During that pursuit, authorities say that Wright drove recklessly, intentionally rammed into a deputy's cruiser, made several attempts to force law enforcement off the road, drove through fields and residential properties, and even after deputies successfully deployed tire deflation devices, Wright continued leading law enforcement on a dangerous chase. The Penobscot County Sheriff's Office says that the chase ended in Corinth when Wright drove into a parking lot and was struck by another truck. Wright was charged with aggravated driving to endanger, eluding an officer, criminal speeding, aggravated criminal mischief, trespass by a motor vehicle, and operating without a license. Authorities say that no serious injuries were reported and the investigation remains ongoing, and to expect some additional charges. The Attorney General's office says that 2 Somerset County deputies were justified when they shot and killed a man during a search of his Heartland home last year. According to the Somerset County Sheriff's Office, investigators went to the home of Isaac Robinson on Main Street in Heartland a little before 6 on September 10, 2025, to conduct a search warrant. The report says that deputies announced themselves before entering the home. Deputy William Crawford found Robinson in a bedroom and told him several times to drop a knife. Robinson then refused, threw an object with liquid in it toward Crawford, then charged at him with a large knife and another object in his hands. Crawford and Deputy Michael Lyman then shot Robinson. Robinson was pronounced dead at the scene. The chief medical examiner determined that he died from multiple gunshot wounds. The report says that investigators found a machete and a baseball bat near Robinson, and body camera footage from Lyman was consistent with he and Crawford's report to those investigators. The Attorney General's report was issued on Friday. Well, some residents of Ellsworth are pushing for a recall of 5 city councilors after what they say is a lack of transparency and accountability. The move comes after Councilor Steve O'Halloran received a sanction for an alleged ethics violation, which drew controversy in the community. Residents are saying that they're seeing their taxes rise year after year and are now concerned about city spending in the wake of high property taxes.
We're not scared of change, it's just that we cannot afford it. We need to make sure we can afford things and take care of things properly before we add on.
Signatures will be collected until the end of the month. 1,500 signatures are needed for the petitions to go on the ballot. Well, when it comes to the national political landscape, all eyes are looking ahead to tomorrow's primary election, and Maine is surely in the spotlight. As our Doug Banks reports, the primary comes as Graham Plattner continues defending himself against a growing list of allegations.
Mr. Plattner, are you here to calm the water, sir?
Presumptive Democratic U.S. Senate nominee Graham Plattner was in Washington earlier this week, defending himself after new allegations from his past recently arose.
Those serious allegations are just not true.
On Thursday, a New York Times report included allegations from Plattner's former girlfriends. Mr. Plattner could be charming and charismatic, but also demeaning to women and, in at least one case, even physically threatening. He drank heavily and was regularly unfaithful.
The fact that I was, a bad boyfriend a decade ago, that's something I've talked about openly at length for quite some time.
It adds to a list his opponents have accumulated, including a now covered-up tattoo resembling a Nazi symbol, inflammatory old Reddit posts, and an alleged sexting scandal. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who recently endorsed Plattner, was asked about the recent New York Times article.
What's your response to this New York Times article on Graham Plattner?
Plattner is scheduled to take part in a rally in Bar Harbor alongside other Maine Democratic candidates. Doug Banks reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, Graham Plattner himself, Troy Jackson, and Matt Dunlap drew a crowd in Bar Harbor Friday evening. Our Kelly Warren with those details.
No one is coming to rescue us. We need to stand up ourselves, and that's what we're doing tonight.
I say that we can't afford to wait any longer, that our time is now.
Maine, I will always have your back.
Hundreds packed into Bar Harbor's Criterion Theater Friday night as they prepare for the primary polls on Tuesday.
Together, we're going to stand up and take on Donald Trump and all his sycophants in D.C. We're going to fight back against that corruption, that power, that greed that is always there and never sleeps.
Democratic candidates Matt Dunlap, Troy Jackson, and Graham Plattner endorsed one another and discussed the values they believe to be top of mind for Democrat voters, including fighting for the working class, advocating for equity, and working towards economic fairness.
It is only together that we can make a different choice. We can build a government by working people, for working people.
For these candidates, the event serves to not only promote one another's platforms, but also to rally voters together with just days to go before the primaries.
This is what we do. We get committed, we show up, and we stay in the fight. The world is run by people who show up like you. That's how we're going to get this done.
In Bar Harbor, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Meanwhile, the Maine Gun Safety Coalition hosted its annual Ever Orange rally over the weekend, which focused on honoring those who lost their lives to gun violence. Troy Jackson, Shenna Bellows, and Nirav Shah spoke and advocated for continued gun violence prevention here in Maine. Among those who shared their stories was Arthur Bernard, whose son was killed in the 2023 Lewiston mass shooting.
I'm here today to let people know that we have to be better. There are things that we have to be better at. I'm not anti-gun, but if you're going to own guns, if you're going to own deadly weapons, we need to find a way to make people responsible for the weapons that they own.
The event also included community resources and free gun lock boxes for families who have children. The time now is 8:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear from gubernatorial candidate Hannah Pingree and CD2 candidate Jordan Wood. But first, let's take another look at the forecast. For today, mostly sunny skies, a beautiful day ahead with highs right around 80. Overnight tonight, mostly clear with temperatures dipping down to the low 50s. And for tomorrow, partly cloudy, highs around 84. We'll be right back.
There's a lot to love about a Subaru. Find yours at Quirk in Bangor. Built on safety and reliability, lease Crosstrek Sport for $299 per month or lease Forester Limited for $399 a month. Your Subaru is waiting. Find it at Quirk.
Families across Maine are feeling squeezed. Grocery prices are too high. Healthcare costs too much. When times are tight, Joe Baldacci's record matters. He passed laws making healthcare easier to get. Joe stood up against Trump's cruel ICE raids. And in Congress, he'll fight to lower grocery prices and protect Medicare from cuts. Joe's values are Maine values. Straightforward, steady, ready to get to work. Lower costs, stronger care. Joe Baldacci for Congress. Project 218 is responsible for the content of this ad.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter. Make This a Summer event is on now at Quirk Jeep in Bangor. Lease Jeep Compass Limited Altitude for just $359 a month, or save $9,000 on Ram 1500 Bighorn, or lease for $489 a month. It's your Ram, it's your Jeep. Find it at Quirk in Bangor and Belfast.
Honey, I'm home!
This is gonna be a big one.
We got what you need.
I'm really hoping to find a good girl I can settle down with. This is gonna be a fun one for sure.
I can't stress enough how hard of a decision this was.
What can possibly go wrong?
We got it all right here.
Welcome back, everyone. Two Maine unions say gubernatorial candidate Dr. Nirav Shah is misrepresenting a fellow candidate in a recent advertisement. Leaders for the Maine AFL-CIO and the University of Maine Graduate Workers Union held a news conference in Portland. They accused Shah and a super PAC of misrepresenting fellow Democratic candidate Troy Jackson, his record on reproductive rights in a recent political advertisement. Now, legally, Shah and his campaign had nothing to do with that ad, but organizers are still calling on Shah and the PAC to denounce it. Meanwhile, Shah is defending his own policies and making it clear that his campaign has no affiliation with the political group behind the ad targeting Jackson because, again, legally, he cannot. Shah adds that he does condemn the negative ads aimed at Jackson as well as those directed at his own campaign, and is also calling for all of the negative ads to be taken down.
Yesterday, I convened a press conference to denounce negative advertising of all forms. This ad, as well as negative ads that are on the air about me. If we are going to be in favor of a robust democracy, then we have to be against negativity in all forms. And this includes speaking out against negative ads.
In other news this morning, California Democrat and U.S. Representative Ro Khanna made a trip to Maine on Friday morning to show support for Democratic 2nd Congressional District candidate Matt Dunlap ahead of tomorrow's primary election. The event also highlighted Dunlap's Get Out the Vote initiative. Dunlap says it's a reminder for Maine voters that elections do matter, even if your respective candidate is favored in the polls.
As a former chief elections officer who supervised a lot of recounts that were decided by a single vote, I know firsthand that every vote matters. So we want to remind people to exercise that franchise that so many people have fought hard for over many centuries.
He is fighting for health care for everyone. He's fighting to support and increase Social Security. And he's going to take on the billionaire class to make sure this country is actually working for ordinary Americans.
Friday's gathering was held at Dunlap's campaign office in Old Town. Well, as Maine's primary election is tomorrow, as we've said, we want to give our viewers a deeper look into the candidates they'll potentially be voting for. Today we hear from Democratic gubernatorial candidate Hannah Pingree.
It's a really important election, and I know Maine people are starting to pay attention. The election is next Tuesday. So I'm a mom of 2 great kids. I was born in Belfast. I've lived nearly my entire life in Maine. I grew up on the offshore island of North Haven, where everybody had to be deeply engaged for our community to work. I still live in that small town with my husband and my 2 kids. In that small town, I went to public school. My kids go to public school. I've chaired my local school board. I ran for office when I was 25 years old. I got elected when I was 26. I went and spent 8 years in the Maine State Legislature, where I served, I chaired the Health and Human Services Committee. In my final term, I was elected as Speaker of the House. I'm actually still the youngest woman in the country to have ever had that job. I was elected unanimously by Republicans, Democrats, and Independents. And I think most importantly for the next governor, I learned how to actually make things happen for Maine people. How to lower the cost of health care, how to build housing that we can afford. How do we ensure that more Maine people have access to health care at a really critical time? And that work actually informed me about how I should run for governor and why this race is so important. I've spent almost the last 7 years working for Governor Mills, working on issues like climate and energy and housing and the opioid crisis. And I know just how important a time it is that good people step up and run for political office. As I travel the state of Maine, I've been running for governor for almost a year. I hear 2 things. Maine people want a governor who is strong enough to stand up to Donald Trump, to protect our rights, our reproductive rights, LGBT rights, the rights of immigrants, our ability to keep our rural hospitals afloat. But they also want a governor who can get things done. And I am somebody who has now been in public service for almost 25 years. And my entire career has been about how do we actually deliver for Maine people? How do you bring people together and get things done? And issues like housing and health care and jobs and energy costs, the cost of childcare, those are the things that motivate me. We've traveled the entire state of Maine, we've listened to people, we put out comprehensive plans on issues like housing and healthcare and affordability and good paying jobs. I encourage people to go to my website at hannahforgovernor.com to learn more about me and what I will do as governor. But again, I just so appreciate how much Maine people care about the state's future. As a mom, as a small business owner, as somebody who spent my entire life in the state of Maine, I know that Maine's future matters. That's why I'm running for governor. I would be deeply, deeply honored by your support. I was honored to be endorsed by over 120 legislators, including the Speaker of the House, the Attorney General, Governor Janet Mills. I've also been ranked by Graham Plattner. So I'm going to work really hard to win this race. I would be deeply honored by the support of Maine people. Again, June 9th, get out there and vote.
Well, next in our Who's the Candidate segment, we hear from Democratic congressional candidate Jordan Wood.
Hi, my name is Jordan Wood, Democrat running for Congress here in the 2nd Congressional District. I was born and raised in Lewiston and in Gardner, and I'm back living in Auburn in the same neighborhood that I lived in when I graduated high school. I'm running for Congress this year because I truly believe that this is a moment of crisis for our country, that the future of our democracy our government, and our economy are all at stake in this election. Yeah, I got involved. Actually, we're right here in Augusta in Kennebec County. I went to middle school in Gardner and high school, and I got involved organizing for Barack Obama's first primary campaign. First door I ever knocked on was in Hollowell. And I got involved in that campaign because of my opposition to the Iraq War. And I thought Barack Obama was uniquely a candidate that was going to change our foreign policy, that was going to get us out of the war in Iraq. And that still drives me, and my motivation in politics today is that democracy is something that when we stick up and we defend it, we can deliver the change that people need. We need new leaders to step forward who understand what is broken with our system, that need to fix it and deliver reform that is going to meet the needs of regular people. I have spent most of my life or career working in anti-corruption money and politics reform. I got into that work because I was working on other issues, doing advocacy and organizing, and recognizing that the big money in our politics, the explosion of wealthy individuals and corporations buying our elections, is what is holding us back from achieving things like Medicare for all, a system of universal child care, and historic investments in affordable housing. I understand that. I helped start a group called End Citizens United. I served as a chief of staff for Katie Porter, all where I worked to fix our broken system so that it work for people and allow us to deliver the change that people need in their lives. I understand the stakes of this election. I was barricaded at the Capitol on January 6th when Donald Trump tried to overturn a free and fair election. This is a movement that is not giving up. And we that believe in democracy, that believe in the rule of law, need to come together and fight back. That's what I'm going to do. I will beat Paul LePage, because the last thing we need in Congress right now is another election denier or somebody who's going to do whatever Donald Trump needs them to do. We need to end the war in Iran. We need to spend and focus on the issues here at home, like healthcare, housing, renewable energy, and affordable childcare. These are the priorities I will bring to Congress to fight every day for the 2nd District, my neighbors, and my family. Thank you so much for considering me in the upcoming election. June 9th, I could count on your vote.
The time now is 8:22. After the break, soldiers from across the state are preparing to deploy to the Middle East. We'll have more on that to come. Plus, a local brewer business received national recognition for keeping those American service members safe. This and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
All right, so guys, just smile and say, switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes and get an iPhone 17 on them.
Switch to T-Mobile in 15 minutes and
What they're trying to say is you can switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. No trade-in needed.
Why can't we just say cheese?
Okay, cheese.
Plus, T-Mobile customers had the lowest wireless bills versus the other big guys over the past 5 years.
I'm switching. And saving. I'm switching. And saving.
Joe Baldacci, the hand-picked yes man of dark money DC. He's bankrolled by DC and beholden to them, not us. The truth? Joe Baldacci is the only Democrat running for Congress who stands with Trump and opposed implementing Medicare for all Mainers now. Good for the establishment, bad for Mainers. Reject dark money and corporate Democrats. Vote no on DC's hand-picked yes man, Joe Baldacci. Real Change PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Keep the celebration going for the guy who's always there, fixing, helping, and keeping life moving. With GearWrench Mega Mods toolkits built to take on any job. And power up with Milwaukee Red Lithium Battery 2-packs for $199. And get a free M18 Fuel Impact Wrench. With Maine's largest network of parts in 30 locations, Coastal Auto Parts makes it easy to get Dad the right tool fast. Help Dad do it himself with quality tools and helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
At Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Darling's Kia, we've got something for everyone. Shop our full lineup of new all-wheel drive, gas, EV, hybrid, or plug-in hybrid Kias. Plus, enjoy affordable lease programs and more incredible savings on award-winning Kias. And at Darling's Kia, your new vehicle is covered by our 10-year or 100,000-mile warranty. The best in the business. The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. Shop Darling's Kia. You'll do better at Darling's.
Brewer business Compotech is receiving national recognition for the impact it's having on American service members. Our Alex Schley with that story.
For over a decade, the Brewer-based defense company has been working to develop new technology to help keep American service members safe.
The U.S. military first went to the University of Maine asking them for protection for the troops. So there was a research and development program that started there, and then Compotech spun off from that laboratory to really commercialize the product and build the production line behind us.
The company began by finding a modern alternative solution to military field fortification defensive barriers.
So for the ballistic protection, before that, all you really had was sandbags. So it would take you 160 hours to build a 5-foot tall wall around your military shelter, and now in just under an hour, you can have our ballistic protection around the shelter.
Since going into full production in 2019, President Paul Melrose says they have made nearly 15 miles of armor walls, which is estimated to protect over 5,000 troops. Since then, Compotech has also been producing modules to replace the traditional military tents.
It protects you from everything, rain, extreme environment. We had one recently survive a typhoon, so very, very impressive. It's replacing military tents, and those can't perform like that.
Melrose says the modules are reusable, quick to assemble, and structurally sound.
The military has all kinds of ways to deploy their technology into the field. So we can do airdropping. So it basically goes off the ramp of a large cargo plane, and then parachutes come up when it's in the air.
This work has earned Compotech the title of Small Business Manufacturer of the Year for both the state of Maine and for all of New England. In Brewer, Alex Schley for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Now let's get a full look at our forecast. Meteorologist Devin Biggs is in with the latest.
Alrighty, Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. Wave height's not looking too bad at around 2 to 3 feet. According to the buoys right nearby, we have no advisories in effect along the Maine coast, and in fact on land we're pretty quiet as well. A little bit active farther out towards sea at around 4 to even 7 feet at this moment in time. We have high pressure that's in full control. We'll talk about that in a few seconds, but temperatures are going to be warm too in the lower 80s. So many of you thinking about the ocean, but water temperatures still rather low in the middle 50s and even colder further off towards the north and east. So it's been addressed a few times, but be careful with the colder water temperatures as well. We want to be avoiding any hyperthermia concerns with that. But meanwhile, on land, now we talk about high pressure. It's keeping things rather quiet on land with lots of sunshine that will be present today, not only for us, but across a good majority of the north and east. It's going to be a beautiful one out there today, so definitely take advantage of the nice weather that we'll have, because high pressure will soon be moving away, and that's going to be allowing some showers and even some thunderstorms to be developing soon. But today, lots of sunshine, a few passing clouds, and we'll have a few passing clouds again tonight. Tomorrow, some more clouds approaching, but we'll still stay dry nonetheless. Some more clouds again as we head towards Tuesday night, and even as we head towards your Wednesday. That UV index forecast for today, it will be very high at an 8. That means it will only take 15 minutes without the proper protection to get sunburned. So hats, sunglasses, sunscreen, and shade will be your friend to avoid a bad sunburn. So as we do move forward today, 80 degrees, mostly sunny, and that north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight, mostly clear, some passing clouds, lows in the lower 50s, and that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow, partly cloudy, mid 80s for the high, and that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast. Wednesday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms with highs overall in the mid 80s. And then Thursday, another chance for showers and thunderstorms, upper 70s for the high. And then we're back in the low 80s for your Friday. Another chance for showers and thunderstorms.
When there's a big job to do, you send the person you know will deliver. Joe Baldacci. Lowering grocery prices, protecting Medicare, defending a woman's right to choose. Those are big jobs. Joe Baldacci's always delivered for Maine. He passed laws making healthcare easier to get and helped restore mental health centers. Joe Baldacci goes to work for us in Maine. And in Congress, he will too. Project 218 is responsible for the content of this ad.
Honey, Where's the countertop?
I sent it out to the granite shop this morning to be replaced.
Wow. The quickest turnaround in the business. The Granite Shop in Sedgwick.
It's mowing season. And Bad Boy Mowers has the best lineup in the game. Built to win with more power, advanced engineering, and performance that never quits. Whether you're playing on this field or this field. So this mowing season, raise your game and join the team. Bad Boy, mow with an attitude.
Think you're good at trivia? Arrange these holidays, these historic firsts, these animals. By the way,
I have no idea.
Congratulations, you have built the perfect line. I'm Deborah Norville, and this is the perfect line.
Onion rings before, in between onion rings and pizza.
Definitely after.
This is what happy looks like.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
The war with Iran has passed the 100-day mark. This weekend, a dangerous new escalation in the Middle East. ABC's Karen Waugh has the latest from Washington.
100 days into the war between the U.S. and Iran, much of the Middle East has been dragged into this conflict. Overnight, Israel struck back at Iran. The Israeli military says it targeted missile launch sites after Iran fired nearly a dozen missiles at Israel yesterday. This is the first time the two countries hit each other since a ceasefire agreement 2 months ago. It all started Sunday after Iranian-backed Hezbollah fired projectiles into northern Israel. In response, Israel launched a deadly strike at Hezbollah in Lebanon, which got Iran involved. President Trump responded on Fox News. "What I would suggest to Iran, you've shot your missiles, that's enough. Get back to the table and make a deal." The president had urged Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu not to retaliate again, telling the website Axios, each of them had their fun. Israel had its strike and Iran had its strike. We don't need another one. Israel's ambassador to the U.S. said, no self-respecting country in the world would tolerate such an attack, and neither will Israel. Israel's operation against Iran-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon has created tension between Trump and Netanyahu and remains a sticking point for any peace deal. President Trump telling the Financial Times Netanyahu won't have any choice but to accept a deal with Iran. Trump saying, I call the shots. Netanyahu doesn't call the shots. Meanwhile, the U.S. and Iran are still firing at each other around the Strait of Hormuz. This weekend, the U.S. said it intercepted Iranian drones, so it hit back at Iranian radar sites. Iran then fired missiles at U.S. allies Kuwait and Bahrain. Karen Waugh, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, a country prone to disasters due to its location on the Pacific is hit by an earthquake early on Monday morning. A magnitude 7.8 earthquake shook parts of the southern Philippines. Video showing damaged buildings and falling debris in the aftermath. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology says that the earthquake's epicenter was southwest of General Santos City. Residents say that they felt the tremors in Indonesia's north and their northern provinces as well. The U.S. Geological Survey said that aftershocks of up to 6.1 magnitude followed. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said that tsunami waves up to 10 feet were possible on some of the coasts of the Philippines, and waves reaching up to 3 feet were possible on some of the coasts of Indonesia and Malaysia. And meanwhile, smaller tsunami waves were possible in Taiwan, Japan, Guam, Papua New Guinea, and several island nations and territories in the Western Pacific. The PTWC said that there are no threat to Hawaii or the American mainland coast. No further information on damage or casualties was immediately available. And now to the TSA responding to what appears to be a shocking security breach at a major airport, as security experts now look for answers. ABC's Sophie Flay has more.
This morning, new questions about how a man made it onto a United Airlines flight, allegedly without a valid ticket.
First point of failure is your checkpoint.
According to a criminal complaint, 25-year-old Abdul Rahman Oriyomi was arrested more than 2 weeks after he made it through TSA security and onto a flight in Houston, despite not having a real boarding pass.
I think this is a pretty significant breach, not just because of the fact that he ended up on the plane, it's the multiple layers and failures to even get on the plane.
Police claim Oriyomi used a forged ticket at the security checkpoint May 18th. Agents seemingly breaking protocol and allowing him through, even though his pass allegedly wouldn't scan.
The electronics now that are used by TSA are so sophisticated. So that's one of the big questions here. It's not who failed, it's how the system failed.
Officials claim Oriyomi tried to scan his fake boarding pass at the gate twice before being turned away. But 1 hour later, they say he brazenly walked past the distracted gate agents and boarded a different flight to Los Angeles. He was later allegedly found hiding in the plane's bathroom. Oriyomi, who reportedly had a real reservation that had been canceled, was initially released with a warning. But when officials realized he was using allegedly forged documents, he was charged with a felony. It's just the latest in a string of recent high-profile stowaway stories. Earlier this year, Svetlana Dali flew from Newark to Milan without a ticket, a repeat of a 2024 incident where she made it to Paris without a passport. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Now back to a local headline. Soldiers from across the state are preparing to deploy to U.S. Central Command in the Middle East. Before Maine's Army National Guardsmen departed for their duties, a send-off ceremony honored them and their families on Saturday. Our Callie Warren with more.
So this is a send-off ceremony for my company, Bravo Company, attached to the 3rd Battalion, 172nd Infantry Regiment. I'm in preparation for our deployment to United States Central Command over in the Middle East. In conjunction with Operation Spartan Shield.
For Bodie Clark and many other Maine Guardsmen like him, Saturday was the final day before their first deployment.
I'm nervous, but I'm also brimming with anticipation. You know, this is what I signed up for. This is what I trained for. You know, I'm ready to get out the door and be a part of this mission with everyone that I'm deploying with.
The battalion is sending around 100 Maine soldiers for an operation to strengthen regional stability with Middle Eastern allies.
It's a lot of responsibility, but it feels good. The morale's high. Everyone's really excited to get on the plane, get out the door, do our mission, but you know, it's tough leaving everyone at home.
Army officials say they'll begin their mission in Texas before departing to the Middle East. A ceremony Saturday honored the Guardsmen and their families before they say goodbye.
So on behalf of all Maine people, I thank you for your service. I thank your friends and family for their sacrifice, including the many who are here today.
Bravo Company, I'm proud to serve alongside each and one of you. But now we have a job to do. And let's get it done. Ascend to victory.
Army officials say they're expected to be deployed for around a year.
March along, sing our song.
In Bangor, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll highlight the Pride celebration that took place in Ellsworth yesterday. This and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
Calm, compassionate, capable. That's how Dr. Nirav Shah led us through one of our most challenging times together, earning the trust of Mainers for his clear leadership that saved lives.
As governor, I'll be guided by evidence, motivated by compassion, driven by urgency, and committed to our responsibility to care for one another. We've come together before to tackle tough challenges, and I'm ready to do it again.
Nirav Shah, Governor.
Make your outdoor living space dreams come true with a little help from Granville Stone and Hearth. Granville can help you go from this to this. Outdoor fireplaces, custom outdoor kitchens, gorgeous stone patios, and more. You bring the dreams, we'll supply the materials to make it all real. Create your stunning outdoor oasis with help from the experts at Granville Stone and Hearth, Main Road, Holden.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Brewers' annual River Fest returned to the shores of the Penobscot River for its 6th year over the weekend. The event brings together local vendors, businesses, musicians, and more with a packed schedule of things to do throughout the day. City leaders say it's a way to get the community together and is by far the biggest event in Brewer each year.
Well, I mean, I think anytime we have an opportunity to bring the community together, but we're also supporting not only the local businesses with what we're doing, but it's also a great place. I mean, the crafters behind us are a really great example. Having an opportunity to come and share the things that they make with the community is awesome.
The Riverfest may be over now, but the Riverwalk is always open for folks to enjoy. Now let's turn things right back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Janessa, thank you very much. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go this morning. Not looking too bad. We're pretty clear out there, and we'll have plenty of sunshine thanks to high pressure that continues to hang around, and we will stay quiet today with a light breeze in the area. Let's zoom things out. The entire Northeast continuing to stay quiet. We'll see this break down later on this week. You can see other areas across parts of the Midwest seeing some showers and even some thunderstorms. As for us, again, lots of sunshine today, a few passing clouds. We'll have a few passing clouds later on tonight, but overall, not looking too bad as we do push forward into your Tuesday. Some gusty winds up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour today, but the sustained winds will be at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, the gusty winds will be backing off, and even as we head towards tomorrow, again, the winds not looking too bad. They may gust at times up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour at best. But your hourly forecast pushing forward, lots of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds today. Temperatures reaching to around 80 degrees. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Janessa?
Thank you, Devin. Still to come here this morning, Max Sturm with sports. Don't go away.
If you need a lobbyist in D.C., Bobby Charles might just be your guy. But if you want a conservative businessman who will shake up Augusta, then vote for me. I'm Jonathan Bush. I'm an outsider, a job creator, and a disruptor. As governor, I will fight for you, slashing your taxes, shredding the waste, fraud, and woke insanity, keeping boys out of girls' sports.
Thanks, Dad.
And always protecting your freedom. I'm Jonathan Bush. I'd appreciate your vote.
Carpets looking tired, stained, or just plain dirty? It's time to call the pros. At CNR Carpet Cleaning, we use deep steam technology to remove dirt, odors, pet hair, and allergens fast. Fresh, clean carpets, healthier home. That's the CNR promise. Visit our Facebook page for a free estimate or call us today, 631-7380. Step into clean with CNR Carpet Cleaning.
Think you know Robert Charles? Think again. While President Trump was crushing the woke left, DC insider Bob Charles was cashing in, making millions holding lucrative contracts with the woke DEI Never Trump Obama administration. Bob Charles, looking the other way, abandoning the MAGA movement, working for liberal DEI-loving Democrats, failing President Trump. Anything for a buck chuck can't be trusted. Trump traitor Robert Charles, woke, radical, wrong. Just too liberal for Maine.
President Feta cheese. So fresh. So creamy. No wonder it's the #1 feta in America. If it's excellent, it's President.
A Dixmont couple is embracing the homestead lifestyle and the adventures that come with raising Highland cows.
Takes a lot of time getting them used to you and comfortable with you.
Something I didn't realize I would enjoy as much as I do.
We'll take you to the Highland Hill Homestead, Tuesday on Fox 22 News at 10.
Watch Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
Welcome back in, folks. I'm Max Sturm. I am joined by Maine baseball head coach Nick Durba. Coach, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Coach. So obviously, you guys are coming off of a very successful season, a 14-10 conference record. You were the 3rd seed in the America East tournament. You're the runner-up for the America East Conference. We at home got to see just how successful that season was for you guys. But as the man in the dugout who's with this team each and every single day, I'm interested what your evaluation of the season was for you guys.
Overall, I thought we were more successful than what our record showed. There's a lot of things that this team brought that I think we had missed in the last couple of years. I'm excited about this group. The culture I felt like was one of just true grit, and we played the way we played, and we got to where we got to, and we earned every loss and every win. But what I was most proud of is how these guys continue to play and really try to get better every day, because that's what we're here to do. We want to get these guys to get better, enjoy the process, and the process will yield results if we do it correctly. And we were probably 5 at-bats away from really having a really good season, and we weren't able to get there. So hopefully we can retain the majority of our players, if not all of them, for this transfer portal season, and then go out and win an America East Championship, and hopefully we'll be playing this weekend this time next year.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned that culture, and that was something that really stood out to me when I was talking to you guys throughout the year, and especially earlier on in this season when you guys were playing games down south. There was a 16-game losing streak at one point, but when I talked to the guys about it, they were not disgruntled by that at all. They said, we are fine, we're going to hit the ground running, we're going to get going, we're going to be where we want to be when we get to conference play. And I just saw that all year long. So how do you think that the early schedule, playing some tough teams down south, really prepared them both in the game and also mentally for what was to come later down the season?
Our nearest goals are obviously winning 30 games plus a year, winning the America East regular season, and winning America East Championship. But where I believe this program should be is we should be in a regional every year and trying to be in a super regional and hopefully get ourselves back to a College World Series. The only way you do that is by playing the best teams in the country. And that's why we go out and play those games, because at the end of it all, we need to win our conference and we need to dominate our conference to get to a regional. But what Maine baseball needs to be and where I want it to be is to be back in that super regional contention. We have to play Nebraska. We have to play Duke. We have to play those teams. We got to find out where our weaknesses are early, and then make our adjustments to get back to there at some point over later in the year. And whatever it is, whatever the scores are, our objective as coaches, as teachers, is to make sure our players are getting better, and we learn from our mistakes and we take a step forward every single game.
Yeah, and I think a lot of your players, you had some seniors and some graduate students who are no longer going to be with the program next year, but they had such an impact on this team, and you could just see it, like everybody seemed to rally around them. With them stepping out, what's one thing that they are kind of handing down to the rest of these guys? How confident are you that they're going to be able to assume those leadership roles, the guys that are stepping up into those roles?
The senior class, and I've been very fortunate in my time here to have senior classes that have impacted me probably more than I've impacted them. Just really good human beings. And that's the start of it. Like, that is the start of it all, is that these guys were good people. They were on the field, they competed at the highest level, and off the field they were just good people, and they had aspirations in life. I'm fully confident that the guys that will be here next year, and that the legacy that those seniors have left and the ones that have left before them, I'm confident it's going to be here. It's only going to continue to get better, because we had a really strong group of just excellent individuals that were able to just get through some hard times, and I think they've left a lasting impression on a lot of people.
Yeah, Coach, next season is a long way away, but realistically for you, it starts really soon here with the transfer portal and recruiting here. So can you give us and the folks back at home an inside look of kind of what the summer looks like for you?
Well, the season started the day after we were done with our meetings. So 2 days after we lost, we had our exit meetings. The summer now is preparing for next year, right? So it's a combination of preparing practice plans for the fall, continuing to monitor our current players and make sure that they're progressing that they need to over summer baseball, making sure our incoming freshmen are on track to make sure that they're where they need to be physically to get into play. And then obviously there's other things, right? We need to get our, good Gloves for Good fundraiser, our community service endeavors. They got to get up and going. We have to see the local Maine high school players. We have a lot to do. Our summer is not a summer. Our break really comes around that Christmas time break. So for us, this is high time. This is us preparing and getting going and making sure we have the right guys for years to come.
Coach, last question for you. I feel like every sport is a game of lessons. What's one lesson that you learned from this season that you think you can take on into the next season?
Streaks start with one opportunity or one game. So however it is, and I think it's become my motto in life, right? Like, you want to put together a stack really good days, it's got to start with number one. You can't get to two if you don't get to one.
Absolutely. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Folks, thanks for tuning in. That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Matt Dunlap sided against Maine women. Dunlap's anti-abortion voting record earned him a 100% rating from Maine Right to Life. We deserve answers, Matt Dunlap says.
No regrets at all.
Now a mystery group tied to Republicans is meddling with $300,000 to elect Dunlap. Vote for a Democrat we can trust with a 100% voting record from Planned Parenthood. Joe Baldacci.
I'm Joe Baldacci, and I approve this message.
Need a safe and caring place for your loved one during the day? At the Merchant Center Adult Day program, we provide a supportive environment where adults can enjoy companionship, engaging activities, and personalized care in a setting that feels like home. Our experienced staff is committed to meeting each person's unique needs while promoting independence, dignity, and overall well-being. Families can feel confident knowing their loved ones are in compassionate, capable hands.
Warning, entering Keepsakes may cause extreme creativity. From gorgeous fabrics and cozy yarn to gifts you didn't know you needed, we've got it all. Dive into quilting, grab a sewing machine, or join a class and unleash your inner artist. Stick around for our mystery quilt projects if you love a good surprise. And yes, we have a fudge counter, because crafting burns calories, right? Keepsakes, where your hobbies and your sweet tooth live happily ever after.
What's the truth about Nirav Shah? Shah was appointed by a Republican megamillionaire in Illinois and failed. Democrats called his mistakes the height of irresponsibility and negligence. That's not all. Shah worked for a union-busting firm that sides with big corporations over workers. Now, Shah is getting donations from Big Pharma, private equity, and super PAC spending from a group that wants to defund our public schools. It's a prescription for disaster for Maine working families. Don't rank Shah.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, Pride celebrations are happening all across Maine this month, and yesterday hundreds gathered at Knowlton Park in Ellsworth for the annual Ellsworth Pride Festival. Ellsworth Pride partnered with Healthy Acadia to present this year's festival. The festival featured dozens of nonprofits and vendors, all from the Down East area. Organizers say this family-friendly event aims to bring people together to celebrate inclusion, connection, and of course, pride.
I just love the music, I love the food, I love seeing everybody, all the fun colors.
I hope that queer and trans youth know that they're safe in this community, that they come out here and see adults who are their allies and who are going to protect them.
The celebration included a number of food trucks, live music, drag performances, and more. Ellsworth Pride is also hosting a community hike on Saturday, June 13th. Now here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. Wave height's not looking too bad at around 2 to 3 feet. According to the buoys right nearby, we have no advisories in effect along the Maine coast, and in fact on land we're pretty quiet as well. A little bit active farther out towards sea at around 4 to even 7 feet at this moment in time. We have high pressure that's in full control. We'll talk about that in a few seconds, but temperatures are going to be warm too in the lower 80s. So many of you thinking about the ocean, but water temperatures still rather low in the middle 50s and even colder farther off towards the north and east. So it's been addressed a few times, but be careful with the colder water temperatures as well. We want to be avoiding any hyperthermia concerns with that. But meanwhile, on land, now we talk about high pressure. It's keeping things rather quiet on land with lots of sunshine that will be present today, not only for us, but across a good majority of the north and east. It's going to be a beautiful one out there today, so definitely take advantage of the nice weather that we'll have, because high pressure will soon be moving away, and that's going to be allowing some showers and even some thunderstorms to be developing soon. But today, lots of sunshine, a few passing clouds, and we'll have a few passing clouds again tonight. Tomorrow, some more clouds approaching, but we'll still stay dry nonetheless. Some more clouds again as we head towards Tuesday night and even as we head towards your Wednesday. That UV index forecast for today, it will be very high at an 8. That means it will only take 15 minutes without the proper protection to get sunburned. So hats, sunglasses, sunscreen, and shade will be your friend to avoid a bad sunburn. So as we do move forward today, 80 degrees, mostly sunny, and that north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overnight, mostly clear, some passing clouds, lows in the lower 50s, and that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tomorrow, partly cloudy, mid-80s for the high, and that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast. Wednesday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms with highs overall in the mid-80s. And then Thursday, another chance for showers and thunderstorms, upper 70s for the high. And then we're back in the low 80s for your Friday. Another chance for showers and thunderstorms.
It's mowing season. And Bad Boy Mowers has the best lineup in the game. Built to win with more power, advanced engineering, and performance that never quits. Whether you're playing on this field or this field. So this mowing season, raise your game and join the team. Bad Boy, mow with an attitude.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and value. That's why Spectrum fiber-powered internet gives you all three for just $40 a month. No contracts, no commitment, just great internet at a great price. Spectrum fiber-powered internet delivers the fastest and most reliable internet for everything you do at home, streaming, gaming, and connecting. Switch today and get Spectrum fiber-powered internet for just $40 a month. Call now or go online.
I'm Jordan Wood. Everywhere I go, Mainers tell me they've had enough. Tired of higher costs, exhausted by endless wars, and worn out by corporate greed. Washington is failing us. It's time for a new generation to fight Trump and the billionaires. I've already taken on election deniers and won. I'll never take a dime from corporate PACs or lobbyists. I'm Jordan Wood, and I approve this message because I'll fight corruption, defend our democracy, and finally pass Medicare for all.
You know Matt pretty well. Did he give you any advice?
He said that I should use 26 words or more.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
It was a monster year for Newport native Cooper Flagg. He reached heights that no one ever thought we'd see from a fellow Mainer. We will celebrate that year with a Cooper Flagg special on Wednesday, June 10th on ABC before the NBA Finals Game 4.
Over 1,000 athletes competed this past weekend in the state's annual Special Olympics Summer Games. The competition was held at the University of Maine in Orono. Athletes and coaches from every county in Maine participated in various track and field events and bocce. The weekend-long event is the culmination of months of hard work and training. Organizers say the state summer games are more than just about winning medals. It's about making memories and celebrating those large milestones.
It just gives them that sense of competition and spirit, of teamwork, and just the love of sport and the love of competing. It's just everything for them.
How did it feel to cross the finish line?
It felt like $1 million. It felt good. I broke my record, everything. I had a blast.
I got to show my grandmother and my dad that I could run a mile really fast.
The competition came to a conclusion yesterday. However, the training is not over for some, as more than 60 Special Olympics Maine athletes and coaches will be representing Maine at the Special Olympics USA Summer Games in Minnesota this month. How exciting is that? Well, in Taiwan, a pair of red pandas arrived at the city zoo. The pandas came from China's Shanghai Zoological Park, marking the first cross-strait zoological exchanges between Taiwan and China in more than a decade. Red pandas are considered endangered species and were added to the zoo's panda group to help diversify the gene pool of their own species. The pair include one female and one male, but neither of them have been given names by the zoo yet. The male is 3 years old and the female is just 2. Well, that's all the time that we have left for this morning, but as always, we thank you for joining us. Have a great Monday, everyone.
Today on 25 Words or Less, she made her TV debut on The Nanny, marking one of the